That was one of the best rugby games I've seen in a long time. Wow, what a game. Leinster just defeating Munster 8 points to 13 points in Thomond Park. Munster fans will be extremely heartbroken at that one. Wow, what a game. A weird ending to the game. It almost felt like there was something that needed to happen at the end of the game. A lot of words being said to the ref at the end of the game, but nonetheless, apart from the final result and how the game ended, that was a phenomenal game. That's what these derby games are all about. That's what these Irish derbies are about. And wow, I am fully invested in the Leinster versus Munster derby going forward. As a neutral, I'm fully invested, and I was so invested in that game. I could not take my eyes off the screen. What a game. Such good rugby, and there's definitely a lot of players putting their hands up for international selections. I mean, a packed stadium, incredible atmosphere, one of the biggest club rugby derbies in the world, and it definitely lived up to the hype. I mean, in my notes here, some of the standout performances for me: Alex Nankivell, wow. Wow, that is one of the better performances I've seen from an individual player in a long time. I mean, I didn't even know about this guy until a few weeks ago, and now he's just one of my favorite players. He's so good. He was definitely my man of the match. I mean, he's nippy, he's quick, he's powerful. He's so good with ball in hand. He's like an extra fly off as well if you need him to be. He was everywhere, and I think he needs to be selected for the Ireland team. If he carries on playing like this, he has to be selected because, wow, Bundy Aki, Stuart McCloskey have to really be shaking in their boots right now if a guy like that can put in performances like that, because he's not just a one-dimensional player as well. He does everything. I mean, he's a hot stepper, he's strong, he's physical, he's good on the ground as well. He's a really good player, and that was one of the better performances I've seen individually in a long time. He really impressed me. Josh Fleer was also really good tonight. It's really good timing for him, especially before the Six Nations squad gets released and before they start making big decisions on who's going to be their key players in the Six Nations. He absolutely ran over Tydeburn, and Tydeburn I thought had a great game as well. Looked like he was struggling through the game with injuries and stuff, so he's a really tough player, but when Josh Fleer ran over him, I knew he meant business today. I mean, he's been on incredible form recently, and it's good to see him playing like that because that's the player we know that won the World Player of the Year a few years ago. I also thought Jean Klein made a really good impact when he came onto the field. I mean, he really dominated Joe McCarthy twice, which is not easy to do. Joe McCarthy is a huge person, and Jean Klein, who I've said many times in this channel before, is a very underrated player. And I'd like to see him being used more for the Springboks because I think he's very underrated. He's a good leader. He leads by example as well. And guys like him and Tydeburn really feed off each other energy-wise and physicality-wise. And that just showed in the second half. Munster seemed like the better team in the second half. And I'd say throughout the day as well seemed like the better team. Leinster really didn't get firing too much, but that's what Leinster do. They just take the opportunities. They go score some really good tries against the run of play. And that's just what they do best. I will say I also made a note here that Ross Byrne really impressed me today at fly off for Leinster. I think he controlled the game well. His kicking game was smart. And he can kick a ball extremely high. That was like Francois Steyn type of kicking. The way he kicked that ball high. I mean, it was almost going out of the stadium. I was very impressed. I mean, he's definitely impressed me. I don't know what Leinster will do. Will they give the jersey back to Sam Prendergast? But they looked very comfortable with Ross Byrne. So I don't know really what they're going to do there. But I will say one thing from Munster. There's a lot of times where they played multiple phases, multiple times. Like I'm talking 8+ phases, multiple times. And it just seemed like sometimes they lacked creativity. They were trying to lean on their physical dominance, which is not really easy to to get against a team like Leinster. So I think they tried to lean too much on their physical dominance, didn't have too much creativity. The one time they did actually score was when they had creativity, so just unfortunate. I really thought Munster, honestly, in my opinion, were probably the better team today. I wouldn't say by much. It was a very close contested game. I thought Leinster made some silly mistakes, like some kicking mistakes, especially James Lowe and Gibson Park, but they still had some really good performances. I mean, this Leinster team knows how to win. They've got some really good Ireland players, so they really know how to win these close contested games. And I mean, they beat a good Ulster team last week at home, and now they beat a really good Munster team, a very passionate Munster team away from home. So a very good win for them. But it was such a disappointing end to the game. I mean, Munster fans will be absolutely heartbroken. And yeah, one thing I will say about, I don't normally talk about refereeing calls, but that forward pass call before half time, I don't know about that one. I thought it was quite flat. I thought it was just one of the better passes I've seen in a long time. But, sometimes you just can't argue with his decisions. And I mean, if a ref makes a call with 100% certainty, then you just got to respect it, which is tough. But they can't, once they've blown the whistle, they can't give it back to them in that same position anyway. So, very unfortunate for Munster there. I thought that could have been a bit of a game changer. I mean, what a pass from Alex Nankivell again. Just, he played so well today. But yeah, a really good game to watch. I mean, some of the big top performers, line breaks, only the most line breaks by a single player was only one line break. So it just shows how tightly of a contested game it was. Tackles completed. I mean, James Ryan 17, Joe McCarthy 15, Caelan Doris 14, Gavin Combs 12, I mean Alex Nankivell 10, Joshua Livelier 12, Paddy McCarthy 11. So some really big performances there, really big performances. Just looking at some other individual performances here, just some individual stats. Turnovers lost. Most turnovers lost by a player was 2, and 3 different Munster players lost that had 2 turnovers. So that's a bit of a costly error from those players. Dominant tackles, the most made by a single player was 2, and it was Joe McCarthy. So I mean, Joe McCarthy still had a very dominant performance. But yeah, just looking at some of the stats, there's nothing really that separates them. I mean, Munster made 138 carries to Leinster's 87. 138 to 87. That's about 50 more carries. Hopefully my maths is right, but yeah, 50 more carries almost. Turnovers lost. Wow. Munster 18 turnovers lost and Leinster 16 turnovers lost. So, I mean, that's a worrying stat for both teams. Territory, Munster had 58% territory. It just shows that Munster seemed like the better team, even on paper with stats. I mean, the last 10 minutes, they had 77% possession as well, but they also got dominated badly in the scrums in the first half. And I mean, that first half performance will be something Munster will look at and have to analyse, because the same thing happened with the Connacht game today. It doesn't help you come back so well in the last 20 minutes, but it's almost like you're just playing to try come back into the game, not playing to try win or something like that. Because Connacht as well, they were far behind. They played really good rugby. Ulster almost let their guard down for a bit. Same thing happened with Leinster. They let Munster back in the game. And both those games allowed the games to go towards the end. But those teams who were behind, if they started playing like that from earlier on with such like desperation and a bit more imagination, then I think the game could have been much more different for Munster. But still, it was an absolutely amazing game. I mean, post-contact meters, Munster 219, Leinster 132. I mean, what? Munster basically dominated Leinster in all the stats, yet Leinster still won the game. It just shows that Leinster takes their opportunities when it comes, and they're a very potent team when they get the opportunity to go with ball in hand. When they get an opportunity to score or convert points, they do. And that's what a world-class team does. I still think this Munster team is world-class, but they can definitely learn a few things from this Leinster team. I mean, sometimes you should just slow the game down, take your points on offer, build scoreboard pressure, or get back in the game like that. Otherwise, something can happen. If you're trying to go play for the crowd, sometimes it can bite you a bit in the foot. But I still think Munster were the better team on the day. What a game. What a derby. Well done to Leinster. Munster fans, I'm sorry for you. Leinster fans, congratulations. I'm really looking forward to see how both these teams go throughout the next few games and throughout the tournament. I'm pretty sure they'll meet again. And I can't wait for that day. Hopefully it's in the playoffs, because that would be phenomenal. And hopefully at Thomond Park as well, because that is such an awesome stadium and definitely now on my bucket list to go watch. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed that game. Irish derbies, I'm fully invested now going forward. I've really been seeing a lot of different players coming through the Irish teams the last few weeks, and I'm really excited to see how they can do in the Six Nations. I think they can move on and give some other players some game time in the Six Nations, especially with some of the players I'm seeing. I mean, the likes of Alex Nankivell, the likes of a Tom Stewart, I mean, the likes of a Jacob Stockdale's coming back and playing good rugby. Bala Coon's playing good rugby. There's some really good rugby being played by some other players, which I'm excited to see if they can get some game time. But yeah, really good game. Thank you so much for all the support on the channel. I really appreciate it. I mean, I've only been doing this for a month and a bit now, but I really appreciate all the support, guys. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. We're trying to get to 1,000 subs so we can get out to a Munster versus Leinster game in the future. Alright guys, thanks so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.